Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over Bitcoin again since I had a little bit of a dump. Go over that, and I'm going to go over two more coins too. HEX, because I've been over that in a little while, and also Solana. I've been over that one in a little while, guys. So we'll check those ones out. Tell you what's going on. Here's the deal. What I'm looking at, here in this 2-hour chart. Bitcoin wicked all the way down there, guys. 20,350. That's kind of what I was looking for with Bitcoin to wick down there. And it got sucked back up to almost, 21,000. I wouldn't get too bearish, guys, right now. I know it seems too hard to believe. And you got the majority of the market thinking that this is going to happen all the way back down there to break the lows. I wouldn't place that bet right now, guys. I would not place that bet. Let's take a look at the 4-hour RSI on Bitcoin. Here's your cycle. 4-hour RSI started right there. There's the cycle. Up, there's the cycle peak. And then it went up a little bit more. So if I'm looking at this right now, just based off this cycle, and it's come down and it's broken the cycle. So here's what we're going to do right here. Just make sense of this a little bit in the RSI right down there. You see that? There's the start of the cycle, touch, 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 came back down and broke it. All right. And the start of it on price is right there, right there. So here's the thing. What that's most likely telling me, the probability. All right. There's no guarantees. Maybe it is going to dump and go back down and break the lows. That is a possibility. More than likely, right in this section right here, guys, is going to be, that's the 3, 4, 5. Okay? So what I'm saying is that you got 1, 2, and then 3. That could have been 4, or it's not done with it. It's going to hang out in this area. Okay? This is probably 1, 2 up there for that next 3, complete that whole third wave. 4, wherever this thing's going to end up, and 5. Let me put this wave on. I'm going to go a little bit sub-menu wet, and you can see that now, right? You have a good shot that is what's going on, guys, just based off this RSI data right here that I'm looking at. And how big this fifth wave is going to be, I would say 22 or something like that, guys. 22, something. It's probably going to be about the same size as that. So nothing really significant. However, now you have something after that. So you get to pay attention to what's going on, because you really have a good shot that you got this back here. Okay, 1, 2, right? That whole thing ends up being the whole massive third wave. So back down here, okay, and back up for that. Total third wave, the complete higher sequence third wave, back down, okay? And Bitcoin's going to do a thrust up to 25K. Okay? Like that, guys. This fourth could come down like just like this. And it could do a thrust up to 25K, guys. That could happen. Let's take a look at the data that I have right here. Okay, I'm going to take that whole length. That's a diagonal move that it did right there. So the fifth wave, unless it's a diagonal, could be a little bit longer than that. But if I just take it the same length off of diagonal, it's 23.8, and then these areas, and it can actually get up higher than that. But seriously, I'm not going for, unless I see some sort of better setup on the short side for that, to be going like thinking that this is going to be swinging back down. I mean, there's a possibility you could get a move here, back up, back down, and you're going to want to see a 3-wave swing all the way back up to where it was, more or less, guys, and then it's going to whiz back down. Okay. The other good news for Bitcoin is that you see 21,685, and it broke that. So it's not realistic to say that this is some sort of move. It's swinging back up to make a massive move back that way. It already broke that. It took that level out right there. Okay. That's why I have that trend right there. Okay. So that's done. That's done. Here's the cycle. It's breaking the cycle. It's coming in there. So one of the things you can do is check the 2 hour. So it might not be done yet, and it might just be swinging back up. Okay. Might be coming back down and swing back up a little bit and maybe come back down over here. Don't know yet. But if you see this 2 hour chart, boom, 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 go back down to there like that or something like that, guys. It might not make it down there, but if you see it back down there, you can do that. I'll show you something else where you can do that. Okay. I'm going to go over to Litecoin with you, Litecoin, guys. So check this out on Litecoin, right? Here's on 2 hour chart. Go to 2 hour chart on Litecoin. So every time you got the bottom, here's a bottom right there. But every time you got a bottom on Litecoin right down here, touch that area. What happened? Boom. Touched it. Boom. Touched it. Boom. Okay. I'm not saying it because it's bearish there, but either way, boom. So Litecoin, as an example, here in this 2 hour, there's this cycle and that's coming back down. I'm expecting something like this with Litecoin, kind of like Bitcoin, maybe back in that area, and then boom. So Litecoin is over here, went up, reset its cycle, maybe back down, and then boom. That's what I'm kind of expecting. So let's go back to Bitcoin, guys. I'll show you some stuff. I'm just telling you, I don't think you want to get too bearish right now, guys. I mean, it's bearish right now, if you will. You know, obviously it's going down, but what am I doing here? I went Bitcoin chart. All right. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with what I'm seeing just based off the RSI data, the 2 hour RSI data. Okay. And the 4 hour and the trend, and it broke it and it's going way down there, guys. So just to give you an idea, like if you're going to do some smaller trades or something like that, you know, you have this and it came all the way down here. And the last time the RSI in the 2 hour, just in the 2 hour, if you look at this, you see where it is right now? You go way over here, and it was when it was down there. So it's doing a good job of resetting its cycle, okay? Telling you that the probability of it sometime in the future to go back up is probably pretty good. And then that wick, look at that, all the way down and gets sucked back up, okay? So I'm still saying there's a possible upside, and then there's a possibility of it going into this whole thing being the third wave, guys, swinging back down and maybe come back and break these lows, maybe 19, and then it's going to do a fifth wave thrust over here. You have a good shot of that. And that fifth wave could be fairly significant. It could be significant because this is a diagonal move. So back down here, you have to consider this as a diagonal. You can see right there, your thrust on your diagonal, okay? And then you have like your trend right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? There could be a diagonal over here, but if it's bullish, it might not be a diagonal, guys. You know, usually don't expect. You got a diagonal in one, you don't have an ending diagonal in another, but it can happen, okay? So now that you know that this is a diagonal, you see with the third wave thrust, all hit numbers. All right, guys, so everything looks pretty good. I would definitely be paying attention and looking more for bullishness rather than complete bearishness, but always keep that in the back of your mind. So now I'm going to go over HEX coin. HEX coin. All right, so here's the deal. Last time I made a video on HEX, it's outside of that trend. It busted out of it. And let me see here. It didn't do it on logarithmic. And it still came down and touched that trend. So here's the thing with HEX, okay? HEX is like this wick. Is that part of the wick? So here, 1, 2, back down. Is that the 3? And is this the 4? Possibly. And is it finished? Okay. Don't know yet. But you do have some good news. Let me just put this over here for right now. You do have some decent news with HEX right here in this chart. Okay. HEX could have made the same move, kind of like what Bitcoin did. You can see this area right here. It came down and touched the top of that. So it bounced right off the top of that wave. And this wave, this is your flat right here, your third wave, highest peak in the RSI. So with HEX, you have a really decent shot right here, guys, right here. You got a 1, 2, your 3, your 4, and it went up for a 5, okay? And you do have an impulsive type move, possibly, with some bearish divergence. I'm telling you it's in a correction, okay? Where is this going to retrace to? It's hard to say, guys, on these diagonals. These diagonals don't really hit numbers as well. You got to usually look for support and resistance. But if you want to use take it off log, check that. 382 to 618, these areas right in here potentially, if it even gets down there. 382 to 618, that generally, that speaking that area. One of the reasons they don't work as well is because this is not a full-blown impulse. If it is impulsive, it's a compressed impulse, if you will, in shape into a diagonal shape. So let's take a look at the shape of it. See if it fits. That was probably came out of it, and you'd have something like just like so. Potentially. It might have another thrust up. Don't know yet. It might have another thrust up, guys. But then I would be looking at something. This would be the third. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a 5 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this. Potentially. Okay. The issue here is this flat too. It could have ended right there also too, guys. So I don't like the flat in the diagonals, but it could have ended there, a third wave thrust, and there's a 3-wave move here, and then went up into this 5th wave, something like that. Okay. So let me take the lines off that, put a micro count, and I'd be looking for possibly these areas. HEX has a good thing here. It looks like a 3-wave move. It could have another thrust up and then maybe over here. Don't know yet, guys. But at the end of the day, if Bitcoin has bottomed, okay, and you have a good shot that Bitcoin has bottomed, then more than likely HEX's bottom, guys, was right here, in my opinion, at 0.016 cents. Take a look at the overall, give a look at the overall picture on the daily, see what it looks like. Take it, put it on log. That's the lowest the RSI's been in the daily, so that's good for HEX. It came down real deep, like right there, the lowest it's ever been, down to 21. It looks like 20 or 21. Where did it bounce from? Right on top of these areas. So yeah, you do have a good shot in that area, guys, with this coin. Like I said, you just have to wait for the retrace, and it seems like HEX now is following Bitcoin. If Bitcoin has bottomed, and it's just making a slow start. If this is a diagonal type move, you can expect a pretty decent third wave, you know, come back down, make a correction. You could see a pretty decent third wave over there, guys. You know, just to give you an idea, just say that was the top. Let's say it corrects to just over 2 cents. You know, you'd be looking back up to 4 cents. Pretty easy for that move, probably even higher for HEX, guys. So what I would think with HEX right here, guys, is that with Bitcoin, let's go over to Bitcoin, right? It's in this area. That's a way for this to suss out. So you have Bitcoin, and then you have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially. So now it's in some type of 4 maybe of this wave down here, and then maybe a thrust back up to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then possibly another correction for the main 4th wave of this wave, and then I'll go back up. So go back over here with HEX. It could be playing around in these areas and then back down. But the thing is, too, with HEX is that once all the hexagons realize it's gone bullish, you know, it could have a shallow correction and then really start moving out of there. So basically, HEX could probably go into a pretty decent third wave when Bitcoin does that move right there, possibly, or it might have to wait all the way over here, and then Bitcoin makes that move over there, guys. And then HEX can make that thrust, shallow correction, and another thrust, and then you'll have a second chance over here with HEX. So it'll be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 5, right? And then you have a 3-wave pullback back over to these areas again. So that's what I'd be checking out with HEX, guys. All right. Now we're on to Solana. Here's Solana. Let's take a look at the 2-hour. I just want to see the RSI. You can see here with Solana, it's kind of the same thing, except it's done a lot better job getting down there pretty good. You can see that peak. It took that one out. So all the way down there could be a 4th wave with Solana. The thing that I noticed here with Solana, just on this wave sequence is that is probably your third wave peak. Let me see the 4 hour. Yeah, see, that's the highest point on the RSI. So that's your third wave peak, more than likely. So Solana's the same thing, guys, more than likely. This wave is too short, so it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. More than likely with Solana here, it's still in a third wave, possibly. So this is the shortest wave. So it's looking like possibly you got, this is a 1, 2, 3, a 4, back up for a 5 like that, okay? And then you got another one behind it with Solana. This is a 1, 2, that whole thing will be the 3 back. So it's going to be the same thing as Bitcoin, guys. And then you're going to have probably something to look like this with Solana up in this area, just kind of like that. And it'll be in here. You know, came back down to correct it, maybe up a little bit more, come out of there, and then maybe do a thrust and then back up, and then something like that is what I would be expecting with Solana. Like I said, guys, you don't want to get too bearish right now because it's it could come down some more, definitely in that 8 hour chart. 4 hours taking it out really nice. And like I said, on the 2 hour, you know, you can go to these assets usually, guys, and you pick them up down in these areas. I mean, this would have been a bad time to get it with Solana, but you know, that's a pretty good wick down. Let's see what did Solana do here. Take a look at the 45-minute. Some type of flat maybe. Came down in a fourth, 3 wave. 3 wave. Possibly. And then 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it might not be done, guys. You might see some more correction in here and Solana get down a little bit farther into that fourth wave, in my opinion. So up and then back down into that area. Okay. And then on the 2 hour, just keep an eye on the 2 hour RSI. You know, it could start ripping out of there, but you know, the 2 hour RSI may be up a little bit more and then finally get its way over here. And then, you know, once you see it down here in the 2 hour, you should be it should be okay. Because it's in an uptrend right now. So, right, you know, you don't want to go over here in the 2 hour because it's in a downtrend, right? It'll just swing back around. But this one's in an uptrend. And more than likely, it's probably going to do something like this in there. It's going to be my guess, guys. So, but then at the same time, it is Solana. And when Solana rips, at least when it used to, it ripped and it's proven itself right here and then back, you know, into these areas, or it just might do a 5th wave thrust is what I'm going to be guessing with Solana, guys. So it actually doesn't look too bad. It looks like multiple sequences. Like I said, this wave is too short. You can't count that as a 1, 2, and this is the 3, 4, 5, and it's finished right there. And you don't have any bearish divergence, not even on the 2 hour, you know, not even on the 2 hour. So more than likely that's some type of third wave. And in this area, you're going to have a 4th wave. It doesn't seem like it's going to take too long. Kind of same thing area with Bitcoin, guys. You know, in this area, maybe another thrust, okay, another correction back down. Same thing with Solana, another thrust back up, you know, and then come back down to these areas again, and then it's going to do a 5th wave thrust is what I'm going to guess. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. You don't want to be too bearish right now. I know everybody's going to assume that, you know, and that's what I was saying. I was looking at this move. I'm going, is it doing a flat? It's doing a flat. It's too bullish over here for this to be. It could be still. You can't rule it out, but you know, a lot of people are just expecting this, guys. And I'm not getting the signals for that. I'm not getting the signals for that. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor. Drop a like. Hit the subscribe button. Peace.